So welcome to this new video on quantum key distribution. As we know that key distribution is the main method through which the security of a communication is guaranteed. We need to share a key between sender and receiver through which they can encrypt and decrypt the message that is being sent. Now, in public key cryptography, we knew that it was very good. Now, what happened is uh, due to quantum phase estimation and Shor's algorithm, the security is very tough and it's tough to break. Which was very tough and it's was to break. The quantum phase estimation and Shor's algorithm created a possibility to break it very easily if we get a qualified computer to do that. But that means we need new protocols for that, for this key distribution too. So now we introduce a new key distribution method, and this is just an introduction on how these key distribution protocols are going to be look like and what's new in them. For instance, if you watch the earlier lectures, you know that entanglement is a phenomenon. So if two qubits are entangled, then if one is measured, the other's value is definitely we have got it. But if they are entangled, that it means that one's value depends on the other and vice versa. So if the value measured is 0, 0 for the one and it is 0, 0 plus 1, 1 upon root 2, then the other value becomes 0 instantly. And if it is measured as 1, then it becomes 1 instantly. This is spooky action at a distance. Now what happened is, if this is a good way, if we share an entangled bit between them, between sender and receiver, and if one value is measured, then the other value is corrupted and sender and receiver can easily detect that. So this detection may lets them know that there's an eavesdropper in there in this network, and then they'll change the key instantly. So if they instantly know that there is an eavesdropper here, and the security becomes too good. So that is what we are gonna study QKD. So let's continue. So when Alice and Bob wants to communicate a secret message, it's essential to encrypt the message. That's easy since cryptography is a large area and also so this is not our information. Now what is the protocol? So what is a protocol? Protocol are set of rules how this key distribution method is implemented. Okay. The protocol makes the fact that measuring a qubit can change its state. If Alice sends Bob a qubit and eavesdropper tries to measure it, before Bob does, there is a chance of each measurement will change the state of qubit and Bob will not receive the qubit state as Alice sent. So let's go through the code, and this is I have already run the code. So if Alice provides a qubit in plus state in X basis, Bob measures it in X basis, Bob is sure to measure 0. Okay. We create a single qubit, 1 1, Hadamard it, we created plus, we create barrier, and Alice now sends the qubit to Bob. So Bob is sent and who measures in X basis. So again it converted Hadamard and then measured. So it gets the exact value. That is very easy to understand. Let's run it again. Okay, so the 0 is measured with 100% accuracy. But if Eve tries to measure this in Z qubit, because it doesn't know that which basis is actually of Alice and Bob have decided together, so then it will change. So eavesdropper first measures and then this is changed. So the value you should have got is only 1, 0 or 1, but since it has got 0 and 1 means equal probabilities, then the Bob knows that there's an eavesdropper. So we can see that here that Bob now has 50% chance of measuring 1, and if he does, he and Alice will know that there is something wrong with their channel. So if it is converted into X basis, and now this is the probability that we get, and this 50% probability is gives information that Alice will and Bob will detect the eavesdropper. So we need, so this, you understand that if the basis of measurement is wrong by the eavesdropper, then the qubit is changed, and if the qubit is measured in a different basis than it was actually meant to be, it will give different probabilities for different values, not 100% probability for one value. So we need to develop a protocol which actually makes sure that Alice and Bob should measure in the same basis. So now the steps start. Step 1, we choose, Alice choose a string of random bits 1001. So this is our information. Okay, now we choose some random basis. That is very simple, and this is private to Alice. So now Alice encodes each bit onto a string of qubits on the basis she chooses. So that is actually kind of measuring only. If we measure z on z, it's 1, it's z on 0, then it's 0. So if we measure x on 0, then it's plus. So this is what we get. This message, actually this message is sent to Bob. Now Bob measures each qubit at random. So Bob generates its own random setup. So this is independent, and this is also independent. So some Alice generates a random string, random basis, measures it, send this measured value to Bob. Bob generates its own random values and then keeps the measurements private. Okay. So now this basis is made public by Bob, and this basis is made by Alice. These two are private. So now Bob and Alice then publicly share which basis they use for each qubit. If Bob measured a qubit on the same basis Alice prepared it in, they use this form to part of the shared secret key. Otherwise, they discard the information for that qubit. So if they got the same basis, they use that qubit. Okay. If Bob measured a qubit on the same basis, they use this to form the part of shared secret key. So they are forming a secret key with this. Otherwise, they discard the information for that bit. For randomly measuring n, so if we can arbitrarily choose these qubits and then make a n qubit key. Now finally, Bob will share a random sample of their keys, and if the samples match, they can be sure the transmission is successful. Now qubit without interception, we are just going to use this is just random. So suppose n equals to 100. Now we generate a string or random string of n qubits. This is generated. Step 2, we generate random basis. That is also done. Encoding message, this is just a function. You will see that how the code works. Now we just encode message using this code. So we are actually measuring this. Okay. So this is also done. Now print bit and basis. Bit 0, basis 1. So this is completely different. Now, and if we view a circuit in the message, we can verify that Alice has prepared qubit in state plus. Let's see. So this is Hadamard. So from Z it is converted to X basis. Now, as another example, we can see the fourth is in 1. It is in, so this is just some different basis. So now this message is generated by measuring, and then it is converted to Bob's knowledge. Now Bob then measures each qubit in X or Z basis at random. So this is actually then different, and then Alice bits are generated, which qubits are encoded in which basis, and Bob bases are generated here, which basis to measure in. This is the step 3. Okay. Now this is just a measure message method, and we measure in Bob result. So Bob got some result. Now this is very easy. We can see this. So these are Bob results. Now step 4. Alice reveals which qubits are basis in which encoding is done, and Bob reveals which is encoding. So Bob's basis is released and Alice basis are released. If Bob happened to measure the bit on the same basis, it means in Bob, the entry in Bob results will match the corresponding entry in Alice qubits, and they can use that bit as part of their key. If they measured in their basis, Bob results in random and they throw out that entry away. So that is okay. This is just remove garbage. We collect the good basis. So if A basis is equals to B basis, good bits that append bits Q, else कुछ नहीं. So sorry for Hindi. Hindi I'm not sorry, but okay. So this is just a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and this is step 4, and so this is what we do. Okay, this is the key that is formed. That's completely fine. Step 5, finally Bob and I compare random selection of their bits in their keys to make sure protocol has worked correctly. So this is just sample bits, and ALS and Bob both broadcast these publicly and remove them from their keys as they are no longer their secret. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, sample 5. Bob's sample is sample bits. We have got Bob key and bit selection. So this is our random protocol. Now with interception means they have there is an eavesdropper. So you just see they release their own basis and they know that these qubits which should have measured in the correct value. So this is formed as the key, and this is known to both of them because they both know their basis obviously. Okay, now what are we doing? We are intercepting them. So if the interception is made, then the values would have changed, and if the values would have changed, then they would have known. So just see, random sums LS bits are generated, then LS bases are generated, and they are encoded too. This is LS basis. Now interception, Eve interception. So it has measured the basis. So interception messages we have measured. This is the messages intercepted. Now we can see that qubit 0 below Eve's random choice is not as same as LS, and this will change the qubit state from plus to 50% probability of 0 and 1. That is understandable. Now this is sent to Bob. This is sent to Bob. Now step 4, reveal their basis choices and discard the useless bit. So they have already released the choices. This is what we have done. Now step 5, Bob and us compare the same random selection of their keys to see if the qubits were intercepted. So with this common basis, they measures their own qubits, and if they got the, so Bob's basis is here and Bob's resulted here after interception. Now Bob's key is generated and Alice key is generated. Now bit selection equals to random int Bob sample bits. Now if the Alice sample is generated and Bob sample generated, so if they are both the same, are they same? No, they are not actually. So it is generated false. So if it generated false, then Bob's and Alice keys do not match. We know this because Eve's tried to read the message, and that is why the error come. So if you know the history of World War, Enigma machine was introduced, and Enigma machine generated millions and millions of codes every day, and which were very tough to decode. So Turing machine was used to decode it. Now the Enigma machines never knew that these messages were intercepted. If they knew, it would have made tougher, and they would have changed the machine itself so that better performance cryptic code could have been introduced so that Germans could win the war. But here it's a completely different way. The moment you measure, the message changes, and if the message is changed, then obviously we will know that there is some eavesdropper already in the network. So we'll change the network itself, and nobody will be there. For this type of interception in which Eves measure all the qubits, this small chance could not match, and Alice sends a vulnerable message to Eves channel. So that's some extra information. Now this is some extra case. Let's calculate the chance and how risky the quantum key distribution is. For Alice and Bob to use qubits result, they must both have chosen the same basis. If Eve chooses this base 2, she will successfully intercept, and this bit will without introducing any error. This is 50% chance of happening. So if Eve is also have the same basis, there's 50% chance to be chosen with that. If Eve chooses the wrong basis, different basis to Alice and Bob, there is 50. Well, the Bob will measure the value Alice was trying to send, and this in this case interception will also undetected. So the probability is 0 and 1 will be partial probability. So if we actually measure with the 50% probability that what actually Alice was sending, then interception won't be known. But if Eve chooses the wrong basis, so this Eve chooses the wrong basis, that is different basis Alice and Bob, and there is 50% chance Bob will not measure the value Alice was trying to send, and this will introduce an error to the keys. So here is the 0.5, 0.5, and then there is 0.5. So it is 0.5 into 0.5, 0.25%. Bob measured different than Bob is prepared. So if Alice and Bob compare one bit for their key, the probability bit will match is 0.75, and so they will not notice in 0.75%. If they can measure 2 qubits, it's 0.5625. The chance of this is the 0.5 chance of interception being not noticed. You can see that probability of Eve going undetected can be calculated from the number of bits Alice can choose to compare. So P undetected is 0.75 raised to x. So if we increase x, then the probability decreases. So if we decide to compare 15 bits as we did above, there is 1.3 chance E will be undetected. If this is too risky, 50 qubits. So there is 0.006% chance that it will not go undetected. Just see, n equals to here. Sample size is 15. So this is 0.75 into 15. Now we run this, and obviously will interception detected. Okay, so this was QKD protocol. This was pretty easy to understand, but it's very important that you go through the concept again and again. You run yourself code, do it on pen paper, and I hope you got the right concept. Let's see in the next video.